Have you ever found something weird in the attic and thought to yourself, what on earth is this? Well, I did. This is a picture of my grandpa from the 1920s. He wasn't just an ordinary grandpa. He was an inventor, a tinkerer, and a man with ideas that were sometimes a little odd. We're talking about a time before microwaves, smartphones, even sliced bread was a pretty big deal, but it's true. Back then, doors were heavy and inconvenient, especially for a guy like my grandpa who always had his hands full of tools or gadgets. So, stick around as we dust off these forgotten treasures and explore the amazing world of Grandpa's quirky 1920s inventions. First up, the automatic door opener. Now you might be thinking automatic doors in the 1920s, get out of here. But it's true. Back then, doors were heavy and inconvenient, especially for a guy like my grandpa, who always had his hands full of tools or gadgets. So, being the brilliant mind that he was, he thought, why not make life easier? Now, this wasn't your fancy sensor-activated door like they have at the supermarket. No, this was pure 1920s ingenuity at work. Picture this, a system of pulleys and ropes, all connected to a big lever just inside the door. You'd step on a foot pedal, kinda like a giant button on the floor, and boom! The ropes would tighten, the lever would pull, and voila! The door would swing open automatically. Next we have the self-winding umbrella. Now picture this, it's 1925, you're strolling down the street in your finest attire and suddenly, the heavens open up. You whip out your trusty umbrella, but by the time you reach your destination, you're soaked. See, back then, umbrellas were like the opposite of a self-driving car, all manual, all the time. And my grandpa, being the practical guy he was, got tired of folding up his soggy umbrella after every downpour. So what did he do? He invented the self-winding umbrella. He attached this ingenious little handle to the side. You give it a few cranks and like magic, the umbrella would furl itself up nice and neat, keeping all that rainwater away from your spiffy suit. And here's one of my favorites. The hand-cranked potato peeler. In the 1920s, peeling potatoes was a daily chore. Can you imagine peeling potatoes for a family of 4 every single night? Talk about a recipe for sore hands. But my grandpa, ever the problem solver, decided to take matters into his own 2 hands. He invented this contraption, and I use the word contraption with the utmost respect, that looked like a cross between a miniature bicycle and a salad spinner. You'd put the potatoes in this little chamber, spin the crank, and the rotating blades would magically whisk away the potato peels. Chapter 4. The automatic cigarette holder, Grandpa's smoking invention. Now here's one of the strangest inventions yet. The automatic cigarette holder. Now before you get any ideas, I'm not endorsing smoking, but back in the 1920s, sitting in cafes and puffing away was all the rage. It was the cool thing to do, like wearing ripped jeans or posting blurry photos on Instagram is today. Grandpa, always one to keep up with the trends, thought, there's gotta be a more efficient way to enjoy my cigarette. So he invented this little device, and I'm using the word device very generously here, that would hold and place the cigarette in your mouth at the push of a button. You could say it was like the first ever hands-free smoking experience. Chapter 5. The heated winter belt. Beating the chill, 1920s. Style. On cold winter days, Grandpa needed something to keep him warm while working in his uninsulated drafty workshop. Now you might think he would just put on a thicker sweater, right? But not my grandpa. He was all about finding ingenious solutions to everyday problems. Enter the heated winter belt. This wasn't your ordinary belt though. It had these special pockets built right in, and you could fill them up with hot water bottles. It was like having a portable radiator strapped around your waist. Practical? Yes. Comfortable? Well, that's debatable. Chapter 6. Dual mirror reading glasses, the lazy reader's dream come true. Ever been so lazy that you wanted to read while lying down? You know, those times when you're curled up in bed, but the thought of actually holding a book up is just too much effort? Well, you can thank my grandpa for even conceiving of such a thing. He invented dual mirror reading glasses that let you read a book without lifting your head. Picture this. You're flat on your back, staring up at the ceiling, but thanks to a strategically placed system of mirrors, you can see the pages of your book reflected perfectly in your line of sight. Thank you for joining me on this journey back to the 1920s. From self-winding umbrellas to heated belts, my grandpa's inventions may have been a little quirky, but they were a testament to his incredible creativity and his desire to make life just a little bit easier or at least a bit more amusing. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss any new adventures. See you in the next video.